Hello and welcome to another episode of Not Your Average Housewife. I am your host Mel, and today I have the beautiful, the amazingly talented female sober DJ, Saya. Saya has been DJing for over 10 years. She's not only DJing, she is producing music. She is a host on Select Radio, and she is paving the way for female DJs everywhere. So thank you so much for coming on today to speak to me, Saya.
Well, thank you for having me. And I was listening to your introducing me, and I was thinking, who's that? What?
It's you.
Well, thank you. That sounded very kind.
Oh, thank you. It's true. Thank you so much for coming on today. As we were speaking about previously, one of the main things that I wanted to create with this podcast is showcasing people, and I know we don't like using the word, but who are slightly in the minority categories in this industry. So I myself am very new in this industry. I've only been on my sort of DJ mixing journey not even a year. But something that I have really found that we were talking about previously is that females in particular, sober DJs in particular, they're very few and far between. So there's not really very many. And they, in my opinion, are some of the most talented people in the industry. So what I want to do is really be able to showcase those people and really give them the spotlight that they deserve, which you do.
Thank you so much. I love to be
welcome.
here and love this initiative as well. And the more platforms as female, I hate the word female DJ as well. But
what should we call us? Women, girls, babes?
DJs, producers, artists.
Artists, yes,
artist
perfect.
is good. Yeah, but I love what you do, and thank you for creating this wonderful platform. Yeah.
Oh, you're so welcome. So it's been about 10 years, you said, since you've been DJing.
Yes.
So take me back. What were you sort of doing before then? What made you want to transition into doing what you do now?
Yeah, 10 years. I'm telling you, 10 years will go like just very, very quickly when you do something you really love and you're passionate about it. So I've always been a raver.
Yeah.
Always, I've been hanging around the DJ booth, and the DJ is like, oh my God, there she is again. I love my house music, always been house head. And I've played a few instruments in my life. I've been a ballroom Latin dancer. So I've always been immersed in music in one way or another before DJing and producing and all of that, radio. And then 10 years ago, I was thinking, how can I kind of feed this passion of mine that I have in a more, I suppose, meaningful way? Because when I came from Finland to UK, or I just kind of ended up in London one day, and then I stayed because I love this country and it is my home. But yeah, I had to leave my dancing career behind, and all of my guitar they stayed behind in Finland and everything. So I was wondering, how can I still be immersed in music and rhythm that I love so much, but kind of just depend on myself and not like massive amount of equipment, although we can talk about that later, but not a partner. I was dancing with a partner and things like that. So then I thought, well, I'm already in the club scene. Like I'm always there. I'm raving, I'm clubbing. I love clubland. And meaning I love music. You are immersed in music. So maybe I should kind of double my talent in DJing. So yeah, then got my little decks as well. Bought them, tried to do some bedroom DJing. It didn't work. I failed. And then I started courses in London Sound Academy, and the rest is history from then on. Yeah, was hooked.
So when did you begin with the music school?
Pretty much straight away at start.
Yeah.
So I went to London Sound Academy, and I'm still part of that community. It's amazing. And just went through different levels of DJ courses basically to learn.
And is that something that you would recommend? Because I'm only sort of drawing on my own experience here. Like, again, we spoke about previous to this that I run events myself. After the first event that I put on, I went and bought myself a controller. It was a bit of an impulse buy, a bit of a midlife crisis buy, but nonetheless, it was the best buy I've ever bought in my life. It was a part of me that I didn't even know was missing, that I didn't even know I needed. And it brings me so much joy.
Oh my goodness.
And you will know exactly what I mean. But I literally bought myself a £500 tractor controller that I still have.
Perfect.
I still have it to this day. I still learn on it now. And I just literally taught myself. And I'm sure that there's so much more that I could learn and there's so much more that I could do. I would consider myself to be still very basic. But obviously going to music school and that, I'm sort of only drawing on that because I'm assuming that is how a lot of DJs learn, is just sort of self-taught. So is going to music school and production school something that you feel has massively benefited you? Is that something that you would advise other people to go and do?
Yes. I mean, I have these conversations so often with other DJs, producers, radio hosts, you name it in our industry. We talk to each other. So I always say, we are all obviously individuals and we have our individual needs and ways of learning. I've just found that I learn the best when I go to school and somebody shows me and someone is there to support me if I have questions. I like to go, physically to school to learn with someone and do it and learn by doing.
Yeah.
I know obviously that's what you can do yourself as well in your own company, so to speak. So self-taught. And I know many DJs that are amazing, even at producing, and they are self-taught. So I wouldn't advise one way or another. However, what I would say is that when you go to school, they obviously have to teach by a certain standard, by the book.
Yeah.
And you will most likely learn a little bit more and a little bit quicker than perhaps when you would learn yourself only. Then you're kind of figuring things out and trial and error and so to speak. But with school, it's more regimented and structured. And
I guess it's how you work best.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Like me, myself, I personally love being in that environment too. Since I started my own sort of sober healing journey, I've taken probably about somewhere in the region of 20, 25 courses, nothing in music. Before I was doing this, I was doing sort of holistic healing. So I did courses in NLP, I did courses in EFT tapping, I did my Reiki master, I did crystal Reiki master, all of those sorts of things. But I found I constantly needed to be learning something.
It's beautiful.
I just love learning. I feel like you can never know enough.
This is true.
I
love learning as well. And I think it's, challenging ourselves, our brain.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much ability you have within yourself.
Yeah. And anybody does. People say, I can't do that. Yes, you can learn.
Yes.
Learn.
So unlock it.
You can do it.
Yeah. Unlock it with all the... but the motivation, the inspiration needs to come from somewhere. And obviously you're a driven woman, so am I think, and so we have this natural curiosity to learn more and go for courses and then go to the next. And I've actually had this, I don't know if it's a silly thing or not, but like a yearly challenge almost always every year to learn something new. Yep. Or one year I decided, I'm going to become an author and write a book.
I do this all the time.
I had no idea. But it's just, I love the process of learning to do that. And then, now I'm published author,
Oh, are you?
Yeah. And I never knew I could do that, but it was in me. I can honestly say I wrote that book.
Yeah,
or
amazing.
I produced that record. I'm DJing, all of these things. So we have this power. We don't use enough of our capabilities. Yeah. We limit. Our mind is the only limit, really. Yeah.
Yeah, because isn't it something like 6% or 4% or something of your brain is actually the conscious part, and your subconscious is where you need to sort of unlock.
We need to unlock
to be able to, like, I saw something on
I think it was
on another podcast, And it was just amazing. And it's something we don't think about. But when you actually think about it, like it was all about, I think it might have actually been in my NLP course about the conscious brain and the subconscious. So even like when our cells regenerate in our body, and even how you and I are talking now, and even how you grow new skin and how women can grow a baby from scratch. We don't think about that.
No.
We're just born knowing how to do it. And I think to myself, if I can do this, if I can grow another human,
oh my God, what else can we do?
I can do anything. I can do anything.
Oh my goodness, I'm already getting ideas.
Yeah.
Yes, it's fantastic, you know, so let's unlock that potential.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So take me back to the beginning of your DJing and music journey. So sort of 10 years ago, you decided from being on the scene anyway that you wanted to progress further, you wanted to do more. Yeah. Was it DJing that you started doing first?
Yes.
And how did you find that in the beginning? How did you, what's the word I'm looking for? Like grow in experience and knowledge? Obviously, I know you went to music school. Yeah. Did you then just start sort of promoting yourself to clubs, to play out? You know, how was that? How did that all come about?
Yeah, I did. So I went to school. So then when my tutor, Erin, told me that I'm ready to go out to the world.
And how long did that take?
Oh, goodness me. How long was I there? I think I was in the various courses for about 9 months, something like that. If my memory serves me correct. Yeah, something like that. And then I was, so to speak, ready. But, you know, whenever you're ready, you feel it and all of that. Yeah, of course, I was really nervous. But I started gigging quite soon after. And my first gig was like 5 hours long.
Really? On your own?
No, I had another DJ called Matt with me. Hi to Matt. And it was in our local wine bar kind of thing near where I live. And it was very nerve-wracking. I was just like, I barely remember anything because I was so nervous, but it went well. Yeah. But, you know, you have to just get out there, isn't it? And then know how it feels to play to this crowd, and, you know, you are accountable, responsible. You know, there's no one to kind of help you.
It's a big deal, isn't it? It's scary.
Yeah, I was just going to say, now. I don't want to make it sound scary.
But it is. It is scary. I still find it scary.
Yeah, I think I was sweating most of it, you know, scary sweat, and, you know, cold sweat. But anyway, you know, that makes you grow right there. Like just put yourself out there, out of your comfort zone. But I had confidence though. I was like, you know, I have confidence. I've been to school. I know DJing. I know my equipment. And what's the worst that can happen? You know, these people are not here.
I'm not going to know if you mess up.
They are probably not going to know, but they are not here to see me fail either.
No.
You know, so the world is not going to end and I have to start somewhere. So, yeah. And then little by little, I mean, I still get nervous when I go out to gig, especially if, you know, it's a big event, but any event, I take every single gig with same seriousness. So yes, of course I have my nerves, and I think it's good to have that.
Don't you think, obviously being nervous and worried, not even just in this, about anything, it's because you care.
Yes.
Because you really, really care about it.
Yes, because I care.
You want to do well. You care about the other people. You care about the people that have come to see you. And yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, being scared of it is a good thing.
It is, because otherwise you might think, you know, there's this arrogance of, well, you know, I am here. It's not about me. It's about the music. And what really drives me in being a DJ and radio presenter and producing music as well, is making people happy with what I do and seeing that smile or someone dancing like no one is watching, although I am.
And you think, oh, do you know what? I'm creating this. This is amazing.
Yeah, and that's my biggest reward. Yeah. You know, so I'm always nervous of what if I don't make people smile? Then I'm like, I need to step up, you know, like what do they want? I need to know. Yeah.
Have you ever had any incidents where you've played out and something has gone wrong?
Oh, probably many. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I think power went off once.
Oh no.
But I don't think it was my fault. I'd like to think so. But that was an awkward moment. because always when something like that happens, and I know it's happened to other DJs as well, everybody looks at the DJ.
Yeah.
And then they're like
you've switched it off. No, I haven't.
Just a moment. We are figuring this out. What else? So yeah, but thank God the power came back. And then what else? Oh, once, yes, I was gigging at a club. And at that point in my kind of gigging career, at the moment, I use obviously decks with USBs. So I bring my USBs and that's it. But at that point, I was DJing from a laptop. Yeah. Oh, not this laptop, but laptop was obviously plugged into the decks. And then someone came, they were a bit drunk or whatever, and they came to request a song, or they wanted to give a high five or hug me or something it was, and they literally closed the laptop.
Oh, did it all go off?
And the music stopped. And I was like, yeah, all right, let's just open the laptop and put the music back on. And no one is allowed near the booth, including drinks. Yeah, so things like that. So yeah, there's been a few moments, and I'm sure there will be more. We are human at the end of the day, and things happen, especially in a clubland environment where anything is possible.
So when did you decide then that you wanted to do more than DJing, that you wanted to actually start making and creating your own music as well?
Yeah, I was just curious again with me and my curious brain and challenging myself like you, going to all these courses and things like that. And then obviously I have quite a few DJs I idolize and I follow, and they make their own music and they talk about their sound and things like that. And I was like, I kind of have a sound in terms of DJing, like what kind of music I play. Yeah. It's always uplifting, vocal house, and, that's kind of my signature. But then I was like, but to a certain point, it's my sound, but I can't put my copyright on it. It's not I didn't create it. So what if I had a go at production and producing that sound that I love to play out? So then I went back to school again. Yeah.
And how long ago was that you started producing music as well?
That must have been that's probably 6-7 years ago. Yeah.
And have you done many tracks?
Yes, probably about 15. Oh, okay. So I don't know is that many? Is that not many? But something like that. 15.
Yeah, because you see some DJs now will release a track and they'll be like, this has taken me 3 years to make.
Yeah, I have still some in my Logic. I have some unfinished projects, and I'm sure a lot of producers can relate to this. Yeah. I have probably 10 some producers I speak to, they have hundreds, but I have about 10 unfinished ones that have been there for years. Yeah. So I might finish them, I might not, but that's my many, but there's more coming for sure. Yeah.
And do you prefer the production side of it or the DJing side of it?
I love both. So it's hard to say. Like when I go into my woman cave to produce, then I love it. I love to just create and bring that creative side of me out. And there's no one there. It's just me in my bubble. And I love that. But then similarly, when I'm out gigging, I love to be in that social environment. I love to see those smiles and people dancing and get that energy and everything. So I guess for me, it's a balance of both, really. And trying to, at the moment, I gig more, like more time goes to gigging, which is, I'm sure, a struggle for many DJ producers. And I am desperately trying to find more hours to produce and really carve it out, like block it out, be organized, and just dedicate time to production as well. Yeah, because it does take time.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Well, part of me, again, like we were talking about before, part of me thinks, because I was going to buy, I still will at some point, but I was looking at, I've forgotten what it's called now, the software. Is it Alberton? Is that what it's called?
Oh, Ableton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I'd say it wrong.
Yeah, that will do.
And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to buy it. Like, how hard could it be? How hard could it be? But I imagine, actually thinking about it, it is really, really difficult.
Yeah. Well, so I went to Hertfordshire College of Music to learn production. So I had one-to-one lessons.
Yeah.
So again, but I have producers or producer friends who are self-taught. It's again, it depends, you know, in your personality and individual needs and things like that. But again, I love to go to school, but still I'm learning so much.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit easier, obviously, to navigate. I use Logic, Ableton, different tool, but pretty similar, you know, similar principles and so forth. But there's just so much to learn. So I find something new every time. I'm still learning. But I just needed to get that solid foundation from someone who actually knows what they're doing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I preferred the school again. Yeah.
And how did you come about getting a radio slot? Because obviously that's a massive achievement. That really is.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, I love radio. And I'm back in school for that too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there we go.
So did you approach them? Did they approach you? Was you sort of scouted from, how did it sort of come about?
Yeah, so I've been to a few radio stations during my DJ career, so to speak. And Select Radio is really, I feel at home at Select right now. It's kind of my sound. Yeah. My vibe and the audience, and they are very on the pulse. You know, they are leading electronic music station. It sounded like a jingle there. Just a little plug. No, but you know, I just really identified with Select Radio. So it's just then you just. Obviously, I'm out all the time in gigs and networking events, festivals, music industry events, conferences, what have you. So I try to connect with a lot of people that I either want to collaborate with or work for. So I'm just trying to think how did I get in contact with Select Radio, but I think it was networking. Yeah, and just reaching out to stations or promoters or collaborators. I think that's very important. So I wouldn't be shy with that.
And you have children as well, don't you?
Yes, I have.
So how have you found, because this is something I really, really struggle with, how have you found like balancing mum life, work life, having to network, making new music, playing at different gigs?
God, you're making me dizzy already. I don't know, balancing, I call it...
surviving.
Yeah. Yes, nail on the head. Yeah, juggling, surviving, mental. By being super organized. So I try to be, I think I've always been very organized. But now I have to be super organized.
Yeah, because to fit everything in, like how do you do it?
I just have to plan. I plan my week, on Sunday evening. I know it sounds so nerdy and probably boring to many, but I sit down in the living room. I don't even watch TV, I look at my calendar. I look at what's coming up, how does the week look like, and just, plan everything on a Sunday evening, and then I'm ready to go for the week.
I don't think that sounds nerdy at all. I thought that was normal. Does everyone not plan their week on a Sunday?
I don't think so, but we do clearly.
You have to. You absolutely have to.
I even put my clothes out that I'm going to wear, the night before.
Yeah.
Like I don't just wake up and go and look for what shall I wear. I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
No, they are laid out. They're ironed. They're ready. Socks, knickers, everything. Yeah. They are ready to go. I can just jump in and go out the door. Yeah.
And so is this your full-time career?
No.
Oh, okay. So do you work alongside this as well?
Yes, I run my own business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in a different, so I run a digital marketing agency.
Oh,
yeah, as
amazing.
well. On top of all of that.
Exactly. Oh my God, like how are you doing something else as well?
Yeah, well, I have to say big thanks to my amazing team. And they are fantastic people. And without them, I don't know how I would manage it. Yeah.
It's so important when you've got support
Yes.
behind you in every area, especially being a mother. Like the saying, it takes a village.
It does.
It really
takes
does.
a town.
It does. It takes a country. It takes a country for some of us to help with everything that we need to do. So something that I really, really wanted to focus on with speaking to you about is obviously somebody who is very well known within the industry, somebody who's come such a long way within the industry. Again, something we were talking about before. How have you found it being female in this industry?
Yes.
Are there any the F word, the F word.
The F-bomb. Maybe S-bomb, like a sex bomb.
Yeah, the
Can
F-bomb.
I say that?
Have you come across many obstacles that are gender orientated?
Yeah, it's very
Because
frustrating.
it is very much still a male dominated industry. And like we were saying before, 70% of my favorite DJs are female.
Yeah.
They're female DJs, and it's not feminism. It's not because I'm a female myself. I genuinely just prefer them, and I just feel like women in this day and age are still struggling massively in this industry. Even myself promoting events, like my own event, the male egos are. It's like working with children sometimes, and it's not something that I've come across working with women. And I don't know if it's because, I'm not going to say all, but a lot of men in the industry still think actually women shouldn't be involved. Actually, it is a man's world. It is a man's industry.
Yeah, kind of old kind of thinking.
Yeah, definitely. Still sort of stuck back.
Yeah, stereotypes.
X amount of years ago.
Yeah.
So have you found many struggles being female in this industry?
Yes, it's unfortunate because, and that's why earlier I said, when you said female DJ, I hate this word because we are all, like, have you heard about male DJ? Have you heard about this creature? No, you haven't.
No, it's just a DJ. There's DJ and then female DJ.
Yeah,
and
so
that's just how. And I said it myself, and it just naturally rolled off my tongue because that is just the way that society calls them. You're either a DJ or you're a female DJ.
Yeah, it's
you're not a male
ingrained
DJ
in the brain,
yeah.
and it doesn't really help. I'm not saying to you it doesn't help for you to say that. I'm just saying that yes, it is so ingrained in our minds, and we are labeled as female DJs, so female this, female that, but not especially in this music industry. Of course, there's other industries, all these stereotypes apply to, and it is very frustrating because at the end of the day, we are all individuals. We are human. Yes, okay, we might be different gender, but it doesn't take away anything from our talent or ability to work in that industry.
Amen.
Amen. Yes, hallelujah.
Amen, sister.
Amen, sister as well. So let's just be DJs and artists and collaborate and, have same rules and, equal opportunities and all of that. Because there's no other difference than whatever is kind of between the legs over there, So it is frustrating. And yes, unfortunately, I have experienced some of that. Oh, well, you're the token female in this lineup. Or I don't, I'd like to think I'm always, and I do believe I am now, but I think there's been like once or something where I think I was booked just because, well, hopefully, obviously they don't want to ruin their event by booking a bad DJ, a female one. But, I know about stories where there's the token DJ who is female in a lineup just to make it look good.
Yeah.
And I just don't believe in that. I think that's crap. It's just not right. I'm a DJ like anybody else is. And, sometimes I think it would be great to do this experience. You know, the Voice of England or Voice of UK, you know, that program?
Oh, The Voice, where they're in the panel.
They are
and
behind-
I'm like you. Do you know, I don't even have a TV aerial.
Oh,
At
do you
home. We
not?
don't watch TV. We do watch TV, but we don't watch TV. So we'll watch like Disney and Netflix and things. But I do know what The Voice is, where there's a panel and they have to buzz and then they get to turn around.
They get to turn around and they don't see this person. Okay, by the voice, you can probably most likely tell if it's a female or a male. But, you know, if we would play, you couldn't tell, actually, if we were behind a curtain to be selected to a lineup and there was a kind of mixed competition or whatever, and I would be playing and then there would be a male DJ next to me, but whoever is choosing, they couldn't see us.
Yeah.
You know, it might be
What a good idea.
surprising results maybe there, you know?
Yeah.
And then that would be genuinely based on talent.
And it's really not anymore. Something that I also find a bit of a struggle, obviously being new in this industry and not the youngest, is a lot of it is social media competition. But the social media competition, I found personally, isn't based on talent. It's not based on talent at all. It's based on votes. It's based on how many followers you have. So many competitions, and I don't even enter them anymore. It will be like, oh, do you want a spot to play for somewhere in Ibiza? Do you want a spot to play at this festival? Like, you get to open for XYZ DJs. Really, really massive, amazing opportunity. Send us a 30, 40 minute mix. Share our page to your story. So yeah, that's great. I can do all that. But then the third part of it, which is what makes the decision, is, get all your friends to tag you.
Yeah.
I'm 40 years old. My friends are all at home with their kids, with their grandkids. Some of them, they're all business owners. Like, no, I can't do that. I don't have the ability to do that. Like, it doesn't actually matter if I'm any good or not.
It's like, well,
it's like a popularity competition rather than a competition based on talent.
And it's frustrating because, again, we are in this industry for the love of music and we want to improve ourselves for the music and making people happy. I don't want to improve myself just to get more likes. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know, and I find it frustrating as well. You know, it should be about the ability to mix and read the crowd and be the best selector as you can be, an entertainer, you know, with your music and know your audiences and all of that. Why have we suddenly forgotten that?
Yeah. So I find it a massive struggle, the F word. Being female. Female and 40, the two F words.
No, they're like,
I feel we're going to rebrand them. There's no hope for me.
No. We're going to rebrand them to fantastic.
Yeah. That's the new F word. It's not female, it's not 40, it's fab.
It's fab.
It's fab. It's fantastic.
Yes,
they're the two new F words.
Amen to that.
Yeah, definitely. So something else I wanted to talk to you about as well, something that's really close to my heart and something that I find absolutely amazing. And again, it comes under the sort of minority umbrella, and that is being a sober DJ.
Yes.
So I've spoken about this before as well. Even I follow some very, very well-known DJs. Obviously, I love their music. I love to watch their sets. And even some of them have started to go sober now and have started putting on like sober raves and things like that. And a lot of them have said that before now, they'd actually never, ever got behind the deck sober because they were too nervous. They'd just never, I mean, for me personally, I don't know how anyone could mix drunk.
I think there's
I'd fall over them. I'd end up like tipping them off, or I'd collapse, or I'd definitely fall over.
That would be you. No, there would be a story to tell.
It's becoming more of a thing now.
Yes,
putting on sober parties, putting phones away at parties, being a sober DJ. It's becoming a bit of a trend, but it's a trend I think's amazing.
Yeah, but yes.
And whether it's a trend, I mean, I don't really like trends, but if there's going to be a new trend where you're a sober DJ, then I think hopefully that's a fantastic trend.
Yeah.
But I know you're obviously a sober DJ yourself. So is that something have you always done it sober? Is it something that you've transitioned? What has made you be a sober DJ?
Yeah, I'm just fully sober human, not just DJ.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, I did. Not that I would DJ drunk. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple of times, yes. But I just feel more focused. I don't know. I just feel like I don't need it. I feel more focused. I have more energy in general. And I think I'm better DJ because of it. I think, obviously, if you're under the influence of alcohol or drugs, for that matter, it just kind of blurs your judgment and ability to be really granular with your mixing and observing situations. Yeah, and I just, it's healthier, obviously, for your body and mind and soul. And I've played quite a few sober raves as well, and they've really inspired me to keep on continuing being that sober DJ. And I know as well, actually one kind of challenging thing was when I started to play for some sober rave brands, was that, which they mentioned to me, and then I was like, okay, now I feel nervous. They were like, oh, do you think there's a different, like, do you feel different when you DJ for our audience compared to, you know, other audiences?
And that's
where
a good
people,
question. Is it different? Yeah,
because obviously, you know, in the other club, you know, so called normal environment where people might be a little bit drunk or high or whatnot, you know, are those reactions to your set genuine? Yeah. That was the question. And I was like, good point.
Oh my God.
You know, like, will they remember that? Will they remember you? But here we will. And then you know that the reaction is absolutely crystal clear, genuine.
Yeah.
Because everybody is obviously sober and clear-headed, and they are there simply high on your music and deliverance.
And what an amazing feeling,
you know?
That must be.
Yeah. And I was like, like a penny dropped. I was like, this is actually amazing.
Yeah.
And so when I do play for these raves, I take that. So obviously I take everything. So I'm trying to find a word, you know, but the reactions and everything, that's almost like a testament to my investment in me when I go to school to learn, when I jump on the decks at home on ungodly hours to practice just to deliver happiness to people. And I know, especially in sober raves, it's very genuine. Yeah. The feedback is genuine, you know.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'd never ever thought about that before. Well, that's such a good point. I've never even been to a sober rave before.
Well, you should.
There isn't one in Milton Keynes. I'm just going to put it out there. Someone might steal my idea, but I actually want to do one. Yeah. I want to do like a one-off sober purple disco.
Yes, do it.
Because the sober community is just growing massively. And yeah, like you said, it's really taken away from why we as artists, as artists, why we do what we do, because we love what we do and we love making people happy through music. Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Yes. And then it's genuine. Then again, I think there's the unlocking thing. You unlock the inner child, the happiness, the genuine, true, like strong feeling of being immersed in music and how it makes you feel. Like I think you will unlock a lot of emotions as well, being sober, rather than being, you know, masked underneath this coat of alcohol and drugs and things like that. That's fake.
It is.
You know?
It is. And people say, oh, but you talk the truth when you're drunk. No, you don't. You don't know what you're saying when you're drunk.
What are you saying?
You don't know anything you're saying when you're
lying
drunk.
right now.
I've been sober for 6 years in June, and it took me 4 years into my sober journey before I had the confidence to dance.
Really?
4 years.
Oh my gosh.
But there's no stopping me now.
Oh no, I bet.
No, the feral in me's come back. The sober feral me.
Oh, good. Yeah, I think it's because we put these, that's why I was talking about the inner child, because we put these guards and locks and, you know, barriers as we grow up and, well, so to speak, grow up, and, you know, these unspoken rules are thrown upon us from society, and behavioral rules and this and that and the other. So that child somewhere there is suffocating.
And do you know what? Speaking about inner child work and going to raves, have you ever been, well, of course you will have you ever been to a child's disco?
Oh, yeah.
like a 4 or 5-year-old.
Yes.
And
Love it.
the sheer happiness in them. They're all dancing like no one's watching. They don't give a shit how they look.
Yes.
They're all just throwing shapes everywhere. They're all hugging each other. They love each other. They're
That
all
was
dancing.
you and me.
They're
Like,
living
that
their
was
best
us
lives.
as
And
well.
that is literally what I imagine a sober rave is like.
Yeah. It's mental. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's
no one cares.
No
You don't
one
care how
cares.
you look.
It's genuine.
Yeah.
And it's
You're just unleashing your inner child.
unleashed inner child,
Yeah.
please. Yeah, this is how it is, and it makes me so happy. So yeah, organize it.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
Now
I'm
it's on-
definitely going to organise
it's on tape.
one. Maybe an outdoor one. Now the weather's
Yeah.
getting nicer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, inner
Yeah.
child, bit of vitamin D.
Yeah.
House music.
There's a name of the
Perfect.
festival there somewhere as well.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, good.
So what are you doing with yourself now? Where do you see yourself sort of moved? Are you going to continue doing what you're doing? Are there more things on your bucket list that you want to achieve?
Yeah, there's so this is I'm just on my journey still. So hopefully
It's never ending, isn't it? A
No, and
journey. People
there's-
think that, you get to a destination that it's
No.
just ongoing.
no finish line. Well, when I drop dead, then yes. Well, who knows? Apparently, we continue somewhere else. But there we go. Yeah, so I want to do. I love obviously music, so I want to do more in the field of radio, for example.
Yep.
So yes, I will continue gigging as long as I can, and then doing my productions as well. So I have loads to learn still. I have quite a few collaborations coming out, so that's exciting. I definitely want to do more with radio. I'm really into radio broadcasting, and I'm going to Point Blank Music School now to really become a broadcasting queen that I like to call myself, a broadcasting queen in the making. So hopefully more on that. Just learning all the ins and outs of radio. So that's my passion. And I think, that in my mind, I think it might be a nice continuity to when I'm, DJing with my Zimmer frame somewhere there, then, at least I can maybe sit in a radio studio instead.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, something like that.
And what would be so over the last decades of being within this industry, what would be your favourite memory?
In DJing or anything like that? Oh my goodness, there's so many. Well, I absolutely love festivals. Well, I love clubs as well. Okay, yes. Now I'm going to go to one particular one, which was a couple summers ago, just because Ibiza summer is coming again. And I'm fortunate enough to go there in May. But I got...
I'm going in June. I'm going with my children.
Yeah, why not?
I
Why
love
not?
it.
It's for all ages,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's everything there.
It's a different experience. Sober
It is,
as well.
yeah, definitely. But so I got to play in Eden, and I've always loved that club.
Yeah.
That was like a benchmark, or a huge achievement in my career. I can almost say I don't remember much of it. I do, not because I was drunk or anything, obviously, but because the adrenaline rush was so big, because you are playing Eden. This is a mecca for DJs. So that was one of my highlights so far in my career. And then I've played a few big festivals, and being in front of a few thousand people.
Yeah.
It's just the energy that you get is just not overwhelming. How do you say? Help me here. Like it's just immersive. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, just I love that. So can't wait for festival summer as well. And yeah, I think the radio as well is a different experience, obviously, because you are in the studio and you can't see the people you're broadcasting to. But I think with that one, I really have discovered how to talk to myself a lot, but it's a different side, because when you're DJing, you're not obviously talking or anything. So I have discovered this side in myself that really loves to be a presenter.
Yeah.
That I have unlocked. I didn't really know that was in there. and coming up with creative ideas to keep the show, interactive and engaging. So I was like, oh yeah, there's a little presenter there. there's a little presenter there. So yeah. Well, I'm still on my journey.
Oh, amazing. And where can we find you? Obviously, I'll leave links to everything in the show notes of this podcast. So I'll leave links to the radio. So it's Select Radio. What's the, I don't even know what it's called. Is it called the frequency? The station?
It's 94.4 FM.
94.4, and that's Select Radio. And do you have a certain time slot that you play?
Yes, I'm there on Tuesday mornings from 7 a.m. until 9 a.m.
Perfect. And I'll leave a link to that below anyway for everybody to tune in and listen.
Yes, thank you.
And where can we find you on socials? Do you have a business page, a personal page, a music page?
I have it all. Yeah. Well, my website is House of Saya, so House of Saya.
Again, I'll leave all links to everything below as well, so people can just go to them and click on and check out all your bits.
Yeah.
So you've got your website,
houseofsaya.com, and all my links to my music, social media, everywhere is there. So that's the central hub for everything. But basically, the handle House of Saya, you can find me everywhere.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming and speaking to me today.
We could chat for hours.
Oh, we could, honestly, but we're going to have to start extending these episodes because there's just so much to say.
I know.
But again, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you on, and I'm sure everybody will be tuned in and listening as well. And yes, again, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Bye.